Hi, my name is Tracy Tadero, and welcome to the Be Courageous Online Summit. My intentions for creating this summit was to provide encouragement and tools to everybody who is going through these times of adversity during this pandemic. And today I have a fabulous speaker expert joining us for this series today. I'd like to introduce Rev.Dr. Leon Campbell Jr. Welcome.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Thank you. Reverend Leon has been director of the Youth and Family Ministry at Agape International Spiritual Center located in Los Angeles, California since 2004. Agape has one of the largest spiritual youth communities in the country, serving over 1,000 children per month. He also has extensive corporate experience. And Reverend Leon received an honorary doctorate degree from the Agape University in honor of his years of service as a leader, spiritual practitioner, and educator. We are so happy you're here with us today.
Thank you, Tracy. It is my honor to be as much assistance as I can, to lend a hand to those who feel that they perhaps are voiceless, or those who feel that they have no alternatives in this peculiar and strange, unprecedented period that we find ourselves in. So thank you, Tracy.
Yes, crazy times for sure.
Yes.
You were sharing with me a story how you sat in silence, and the question that came to mind for you was, what now?
Yes.
So,
yes.
Explain that.
Yes, I was watching television about 2 weeks ago, and there was a strong urge came over me, and it said, turn the television off. And because I was so absorbed in all the COVID broadcasts, and I sat there and it says, turn it off now. I heard that really clearly. So I turned it off, and the question came to me, it was, what now? Now that you've been armed with all this information and tons of information about this particular virus and what people are doing around the world, what are you going to do now? And it was a strange question, because I said, well, you should have the answers for me, Spirit, because I don't know what to do. And then it said, what now? And then that was it. And so what really came home for me was that the ability to be in this now moment. There's something about this powerful present, and there's a gift in this present. But to be present in the present moment was powerful for me, because many people are in the past and it's over. There's a lot of damage that has been done. There are a lot of mistakes. There are a lot of things that we've done in our past, but that's over. And the only way and the only time to live is in the now. And so it said, what now? And so it was tremendous for me. And so I thought about, right now, there's some untapped potential and possibilities for us right now. And if we would just explore it, starting with just recognizing the breath that goes through our body, which is the holy breath. And when I say the holy breath, I mean it puts you into the current moment. A lot of the great mystics and wisdom teachers, they talk about being in the present moment. For instance, Thich Nhat Hanh, he talks about even walking. He has a book that says peace is every step. Even walking in the present moment begins to open us up to a whole new vista. Eating mindfully, being present. I was talking to a beautiful chef, and she has all the food chosen with such a flair and with such a strategic agenda. And she says, Reverend Leon, have you ever had the experience of eating a salad and you could taste every morsel of the basil or the cilantro or the tomatoes or the olives? And I was like, oh my God, that sounds so wonderful. Because I normally inhale food. I normally just, that's it, that was the meal. And so, but to get present moment, and I'm going to invite all the listeners and all the attendees to our summit to begin to know that right where you sit are possibilities, untapped possibilities. We're in an unprecedented time. And now is that time to explore where you've never gone before, to be willing to open up the possibilities that exist. And I don't want to get airy-fairy. I want to be very practical with this. When I say practical, begin to know that we are so much more than human beings. We are so much more than flesh and blood. We're so much more than any insurance statistic. We're so much more. And just to know that the possibilities exist for us. On a regular basis, you should be open to being surprised. You should be open to ahas. You should be open to revelations. You should be open to that which goes beyond our five senses. The other day, I received a big check from my insurance company, and I wasn't expecting the check. It didn't have anything to do with COVID either. They said, "Oh, Leon, we overcharged you for a few years." And I'm thinking, what? And so here was this check that I didn't expect. But I feel that we need to move out of the way, and fear gets in our way. Fear, worry, doubt gets in our way. And just to trust, to have faith, and I don't care what you call your God, even if you have no God at all, but just the faith that no, you are in perfect place right where you are. You're perfectly positioned. And to know that there's still possibilities that exist for you. Be open to surprises. I just found a topic of a new talk. Be open to the surprises. And we've experienced them. I don't, we've all experienced the surprise. We say, oh, where did this come from? Where did this happen? So I ask you to join me in what now? What now for you? I asked you to be an explorer with me. I asked you to wake up every day and just say, what now? I am available. To make yourself available to the infinite possibilities that exist for you. And I just want to say this piece, and I'll give it back to Tracy, but I just want to say that many times we judge so much by appearances. And when I say we judge by the appearance, because we judge based upon what's in our bank account, what's in our wallet, what's in our refrigerator. And that's not the only evidence you have of the greatness of you. There's so much more to us. We figuratively sit on the tip of the iceberg of life, thinking that's the only ice that we have. But I'm going to invite you to jump into the water, and you'll be able to see all the ice that you could ever imagine. And so I want you to know that just because there's no movement with our physical eyes, you don't see anything happening in your world, on your job, in your family, on your relationships, I want you to begin to just know that there's always movement. There's trillions of cells in our bodies that are moving right now. The quantum physicist says that there are waves and particles around us that are moving based upon our direction. Energy is always moving. Everything is always moving, but we will not be able to recognize or capture that in the past. Right now, in this beautiful moment that we're living, all possibilities exist. I don't know for you what that is. Only you can discover that. But I invite you to begin to open up this beautiful gift, this beautiful presence right now.
That is exactly what I think needs to be put out there. It's just being open, right? Everybody gets so closed-minded of like, this is how my life's supposed to go. It's thrown off track. And honestly, I feel like the playing grounds have all been leveled out. I mean, right now we are all individuals in our homes with a different life than we expected. And so being open, right, and making yourself able to receive whatever God, the universe, whatever your higher power is going to bring you, or even if you don't believe anything, what is going to come, right? And being open. And I read something the other day that said, when you make statements, you're closing yourself off. When you ask questions, you're opening up to possibilities.
Yes.
And so, just like what you were saying about the now what, or what now, I mean, you're inviting opportunities to come your way. Like I've got my daughter who just graduated from college yesterday, and she's just like, Mom, I want to move out. I've got this friend that's got a room. I don't have a job. I don't know how I'm going to be able to pay for that. And I said, ask the question. What would it take for me to be able to move into this great apartment with my friend? That's all you have to ask. And things will start to come. And it's just opening ourselves up, right? Jumping into that ocean of possibilities. And now is the time where we have so much time on our hands and we can be receptive to new things coming our way, right?
Yes, yes, yes. I find it amazing that you have a daughter that's going into college, Tracy. And I'm looking at you like, oh my God.
Graduated college.
Graduating, oh my God, even better.
Thank you.
Oh my God. I don't want to, you had to be like 15 or whatever. But anyway, forget it. Okay, so that's amazing. But I also want to say it's important that we ask the correct questions. And what now takes us in. When I say what now, all capital letters N-O-W takes us in this now moment. And it's important that we stay present. It's important. Because anything else is going to take us into the past or also begin to build fear for the future. So we want to stay present. And what you do now is also your future. And so what now? And so I love the exploration into the now. And one thing that is so exciting about that, the exploration into the now, is that it keeps you vigilant. It keeps you aware of what's going on 360 degrees in everywhere. One day last week when I was jogging, I just decided to take off my shoes and my socks and just walk in the grass.
Oh.
And it kept me present moment about where I am, what I was doing, the sensations going through my body. My practitioner says that when you walk barefoot in the grass or in the sand, etc., it keeps you grounded. In other words, it plugs you into the electricity of the universe. In other words, you begin to now hear the birds at a whole nother level. You begin to hear the ocean. You begin to be so alert. Your antennas are high. Because many times we spend so much time in past fears that we're not aware of the blessings that are amongst us, the blessings that are around us. I enjoy eating a cereal in the morning, and now I just enjoy just hearing each and every crunch. And people say to me, well, Reverend Leon, what's that? So what? What's that going to do? But it now makes you vulnerable. It makes you a prime suspect for the good. It leaves you open to be surprised. It leaves you open. And there's so many surprises that can come to you, but they only can come to you in the present moment. It won't come back in the past. It can't touch you in the past because it's over. But right now is the golden moment, right now. And so when we ask the question, what now? Let's make sure we are in the present moment. And so one of the reasons why I'm excited about this time of sheltering in place is because, and I know people are suffering, I know that, but what's going to emerge out of this, what emerges is a brand new you. And if you can just take a moment and take a breath, take a moment and step beyond all the mass hysteria, the media. And I'm not saying don't get information, yes, but if you notice the news cycle just repeats over and over again. So after you've had an hour of it, you captured it for today, okay? And so now you're going to step out of it. And one of the things I ask people, I say to them, I said, what is calling you now? And what's most important about that is that we begin, I told my class, and I said, I want you to name 12 things that you love to do, that's a passion for you, that's a joy for you, and that you've always wanted to do. And oh my God, the class was just overflowing. One young lady said to me, she says, even though I have a famous sister that's a world-class singer, she says, I've always wanted to sing. Another young lady said, Reverend Leon, I always wanted to dance. Another young lady said, I have a flute that I haven't played since high school. Another young lady yesterday, she said to me, she says, even though I have these disabilities and I'm confined to a wheelchair, she said, I've always wanted to write a book. And so it was so much joy hearing this from these people, because see, it's not about the finished product. We're such vibratory beings. Once you sit down to write this new song or to sing this new song or to dance your dance, you're sending waves throughout our world. You're vibrating at such a higher level now. You're sending waves all around the world. And people are being inspired. People are being lifted. People are being taken out of this focus on fear. And so I'm going to ask you, those of you who are listening or who will listen, to begin to take out that flute that take out that guitar that you've always wanted to play. And become that individual that says, right where I am, I make a difference. What I say, what I think, who I am is making a difference around the planet. So I'm going to ask you to take these precious moments and begin to be with yourself in a way that before it was always, I'm going to get to it. I'm going to one day write that book. I'm going to one day sing my song. I'm going to one day spend some time with my little 12-year-old. Now is the time. Don't miss it. Don't neglect it. And don't procrastinate. Because once the doors open again, the world has changed. It's over. When I say it's over, I mean it's a whole nother new world that we'll learn how to conduct ourselves and be. But make sure that you come out of this different. Make sure you come out of this being the change that you've always wanted to see. Yes.
That is perfect. And I love your what now. And I am going to suggest to our viewers, write that on a sticky note and stick it on your mirror in your bathroom, stick it in your car somewhere, and just ask that question, because it truly is an opportunity to open up to things that you never thought possible. I mean, I'll share my story. I have always wanted to do, well, I should say always, the last 3 years I've been wanting to do a summit. And in my mind, I was like, yes, 200 to 300 people. We have a reach of about 250,000 people through this summit. And it's so much far greater than I could have even comprehended. And that's just it. We as humans have no idea of the possibilities that are available, because all we know is from our own personal experience or what we've seen other people do. So just be open, right? Open and follow your heart. And I know you work with the teens, you work with the families. And one of the things that I'm really trying to practice is tapping into my inner child and just really getting to that place of being able to enjoy, like you're talking about being present, right? Enjoy those little things. Like I buy myself a box of Lucky Charms cereal. That's like my little happy place. My kids know if they touch that cereal, Mama's going to go through the roof. Okay. So that's my little happy place. And
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. But you are a messenger. You know that, right?
Yeah, I do.
When I looked at you before the call, I said, here's a messenger here. And what people don't realize, Tracy, many people don't realize, is that we are outlets. But the great infinite all, the great spirit, whatever you want to call it, desires an outlet. We are inlets. Let me say it that way. We are inlets. But the greater light also desires an outlet. And who you are matters. Your dance, your song, your poetry, your book matters. Let there be more love, more light, more beauty, more peace. And that comes through us, Tracy. That comes through us. And so with you facilitating this light summit, I'm going to say it that way, this summit that's broadcasting light is making a difference even now, because who you are is broadcasting. You're helping, just like I said earlier, you're helping that little girl in Calcutta. You're helping that older lady in the in Russia. You're helping people all around the world because we're connected. We're connected, Tracy. And here you are being this, I'm going to say it this way, this light bridge where people can begin to communicate at such a deeper level. I'm a big fan of sci-fi movies. And we're going to come to a time where we're going to be unabashedly not ashamed to communicate each other without a phone. Because you know, there's many times when you think about somebody, they'll call you, or you'll see something, or but there will come a day where we'll just draw them in our minds and begin a full conversation, begin to talk with no matter where they are around the world. We would have developed ourselves at such a level where we will communicate without any electronics.
I agree. And the more connected you become, it's more magical. And I love the word magic. You were talking about miracles and magic, and it's just seeing those kind of things happen in life, synchronicities, people call them coincidences. To me, those are miracles. Those are miracles and magic when you just start opening up a little bit, how you start seeing that. And like you said, you're thinking about somebody, they call you, whatever it may be. It's beautiful. And there's another, not to digress, but thank you for the kind words and compliments about, what I'm doing. And I just want to share, 3 weeks ago, I was mortified about getting in front of a camera or a Zoom. I had a panic attack before I needed to make my intro video. I just couldn't. And I traced it back to a memory from first grade when I stood up. I thought I got called on. I stood up and everybody laughed at me. And that old limiting belief was controlling me. And so I pushed myself outside of my comfort zone. I have never been in front of video screens or, these calls prior to 2 weeks ago. And so that fear crippled me. It literally crippled me.
Wow.
And so here I am. And I can't even believe it. Going, like I said, having this broadcast in front of that many people. But just letting go of that fear and knowing I have a message to put out and to serve. And it's not about my ego, right? Shut the ego down, because there's something bigger out there, and there's a message that so many people need to hear. And if I keep myself from doing this, there's so many people that are missing out.
Tracy, there's a light that will not be hindered within you. And it will help you with any phobia, with anything that you have, any fear that you might have about speaking. But it's determined. That light is determined, and it will find its level. It will find its space. It will find the place. It's determined. So you won't be able to hold it back. There's a light within you that will accomplish all those things that you are here to do. And just like I said earlier, the greater light needs an outlet. If not, we'll burst open. We will continue. We will cease to exist if we don't let this light come through. More peace, more love, more joy, more beauty. It is winning. It's just it doesn't get the media time. And here you are giving it the media time. Here you are giving it its proper space and place.
Thank you.
More peace, more love, more joy, more beauty, more inspiration. It shall win. At the end of the day, it shall win, because it's the only vital qualities of our life. Everything else has been manufactured and illusionary and temporary.
I agree. And that's that higher vibration, right? Love is that higher vibration. If you want to get into science like that, if we get that vibrating enough across enough people, it will win. It will win. And it's beautiful.
Yes, it will. Yes, it
getting
will.
that word out. And that's what this is all about. And I wanted to use the word love in my summit, but people don't want to hear that right now. They're not fully ready. And so being able to have these conversations and let people just experience that, right?
Yes, yes.
You know, change.
Let them feel the love. We don't even have to say it. Let them feel the love, and let them try to describe it. And the only thing I say to those people, because they try to describe it, and I said, why don't we just use the word love and leave it there? And they go, oh yeah, why don't we just call it love? Because that's what this is. That's what this is, Tracy. It's love.
Yeah. And each one of these viewers out here, I mean, I want them to know they have a purpose and they've got something that they are here to share, their gifts, their talents. So I've been, whoever's been in corporate America as an accountant for so many years, but wants to be, follow their dream of being a painter, go paint, just start
Yes.
painting,
Yes.
paint, and just post the pictures for people to see. And you're just going to watch and it just snowballs, right? Of like, people need to believe, unfortunately, people need to believe in us before we can believe in ourselves. I find that for myself, it was just.
And here's the thing, it's not about being Picasso, but what you begin to do is when you paint and when you begin to create a space for this greatness to emerge, you start to tap into something. And when you tap in, you begin to open up a whole vista of possibilities. You begin to open up this whole door to many times what we have not experienced on the planet, because we're many times we're recycling what's already been gone before us. And that is this notion of work, this notion of we have to do this, you've got to do that, you got to do this, you got to do that. But what comes to me is love will find the way. Your passion will find the way. And here's the thing that we sort of neglect. The great author of your life is orchestrating now things beyond your comprehension, beyond. When I think about it, I think about that great pizza I had yesterday. It's now creating fingernails and eyelashes and eyebrows and hair on my head. Thank God I still have the hair on my head. But it's creating bone turnover. So your every need is being taken care of, regardless of your intellectual awareness or not. Your every need has been taken care of. You're here to shine. We're here to shine. We're here to love. We're here to release more joy, more peace, more greatness on the planet. That's why you're here. And this is not to say you're going to be irresponsible. Of course, you're going to take care of your bills. Of course, you're going to take care of your children. Of course, you're going to take care of your house. But more than anything, you're here to unleash the greatness that's within you. And if that looks like painting, if that looks like creating a statue of David or whatever that looks like for you, or creating great poetry, then go do it. And don't think I'm leaning too heavy on the musician or creative types, so to speak. But even the mechanic, to me, when he or she does their work with such passion and joy, is creating a work of art. How all those contraptions underneath your car, that's a work of art. In order to make your car travel. How wonderful, how beautiful these designers. And so we all have a part to play in this word called creativity. See, some people think when we say creativity, they think it's the exclusive domain of the musician, of the painter, of the sculptor, or the actor. No. Creativity is all of ours. And I think about how many years ago when the Wright brothers were creating the first airplane, And they needed all this land. They needed acres and acres of land. They needed everything to be in total synchronicity. They needed the plane to be lightweight. They needed all these factors to go into getting this plane off the ground. And it took a while to design this and the propellers and getting this thing off the ground. And here comes a guy by the name, years later, I don't have the dates, but here comes a guy by the name of Korsky or Sikowski. And he said, we need none of that to get this aircraft off the ground. Let's just put the propellers on the top and we'll lift it from the top. In other words, here was the advent of the helicopter. And so this was a creative endeavor. And when I think about some of the great companies now, or some of the reinvigorated companies now, and that includes AT&T, it could be Google, it could be Apple, they're not really looking for the smartest kid in school. They're not looking for that. But they're looking for the young person who is creative, the ones who can think on their feet. I tell my student athletes a lot, I say, you might not be the biggest one on the field. You might not be the fastest one on the field. But what you do have to your advantage, and we all have to our advantage, that we can use creativity to overcome most challenges. And there are scientists that's the way they define creativity. They say creativity is the ability to solve problems. And we're going to need creativity during this period in our lives, during this covert period. We're going to need to step out of the box. We're going to need to redefine what it is to live as a human being. We're going to have to redefine that now. Redefine what it looks like to take care of this thing we call Mother Earth. To love our brothers and our sisters. And so it's going to take us to step out of the box and be creative from this point on, and begin to know that even though it doesn't appear like nothing's happening, there's a lot happening, you guys, a lot happening. And when you get still, when you get quiet, you will begin to see it and hear it. And you won't be able to explain it, thank God. But you'll be able to see it and hear it. You'll be what, like Reverend Michael says, you'll be able to hear the inaudible. And you'll be able to see the invisible. Just get quiet enough and take a breath in this present moment.
And it's about just having a shift in how we're talking, right? And how we're thinking. And worry doesn't have to be bad. Worry can be amazing, right? What, like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen if da-da-da-da? Well, let's end that phrase in a question of like, that I have so much money I don't know what to do with, right? Or that I have the job of my dreams, or that I meet the love of my life, whatever it is. Let's turn that worry into positive things and shift that mindset. And one of the little mantras that I use on a daily basis, I just love it because the energy in just saying it is so powerful. And I just say, isn't it wonderful, all these amazing things that are happening in my life? Isn't it wonderful? All these things that are happening.
Yes. One thing I love about what you're saying is that we also need to learn how to ask a new question, as opposed to, why is this happening to me? Why don't we open that up and begin to say, what can I become in order that I will be big enough to see beyond this and more? Or whatever your question is, I'll need you to start to turn it around and begin to open that question up, where it's not about how is it going to happen. Begin to recognize that How can I discover what's already happening?
Mm.
Where am I being led to? What must I become so that I might see and feel and experience this great happening that has already taken place? In other words, we begin to learn to ask a whole new question, a question that doesn't take us down the rabbit hole, which is never ending. Like, why is this happening to me? Why does bad things happen to good people? And you begin to see that the sun is always shining on the quote unquote good and bad, and it rains on the just and the unjust. And you begin to see, how can I live and be untouchable, not affected by the day-to-day things that happen to us all? I want you to step into a vision for your life. I think about John Lennon's song, Imagine. That was a vision, and people thought he was crazy when he would say things like, imagine all the people living life in peace. Well, we were in the depths of Vietnam War. People, are you crazy? But now people are singing this song as if it's only a matter of fact. It's happening right now. People are coming together in ways that we could never imagine. And who would have imagined? Who would ever thought that this would happen? That's why I also call on those artists out here in the world. I remember as a young boy about to enter into the Vietnam War, and I picked up this album by Marvin Gaye called What's Going On. And I would listen to the words, and I cried and I cried and I cried. And here was a man who was an artist who introduced me to the injustices that were going on around the world. It didn't make me bitter, but it made me begin to seek begin to have me see at a higher level. And I call on the artists now. I call on those people who are willing to touch the fourth dimension and convey it to our fellow brothers and sisters, so that they won't have to be dieting upon or communing upon fear and worry constantly. No, worry is probably a part of our system, but yes, we can switch it around and now ask a new question, a different question. We can begin to see a greater vision and begin to see that this doesn't have to be our lot. I remember growing up in the projects of Chicago, in the inner cities of Chicago. And one day I was holding on to the bars because everything was barred up because people were throwing things off of the balcony and hurting and killing one another. And I remember I was holding on to the bars, and I heard a voice say, this will not be your lot. Your life will be lived far, far away from here. And I knew that this voice knew me in some way. I knew that this voice was a part of me. And I cried and I cried, and my mother said, what's wrong with you? I think I was like 12 years old. I cried and I cried and I cried. But I caught a glimpse of the endless possibilities that exist for me, that this will not be my lot, that I am not subjugated or I'm not imprisoned to this or anything else, and that there was something higher awaiting me. And my life changed from that point on. My life changed. So no, there's nothing wrong with worry at this, but I want you to switch it where you're asking a whole different question. I want you to do what Tracy just said. I want you to worry about, where am I going to store all of this good and this abundance and this greatness? How do I live in the overflow? I'm worried about living in the overflow.
I'll take that.
Yes. I'm worried about living in the overflow. I'm worried about all these great relationships that are coming my way. How do I make room on my schedule for all these great relationships? That's the worry we want to walk into. The worry of a greater life, a greater vision, a greater possibilities that is ours. Yes, that's ours.
Yes. And I will say, just in going back when I was talking about that mantra of like, isn't it amazing all these wonderful things that are happening in my life? My life was not wonderful at that time. It was not wonderful. It was me wondering how I'm going to pay my bills.
Yes,
I'm going to take care of
yes. But you caught a vision, Tracy. You caught a vision.
I did. And I just was not holding on to hope. I was like, I decline to be discouraged. I am just going to keep saying it. I don't see it, but I'm going to believe it. And this is what we're talking about now. Like, don't look at the circumstances, right?
Yes.
Catch a vision of what you want your life to look like and just keep focusing on that.
Yes.
We are
powerful, Tracy.
Shedding our skin right now. Shed the skin so you can move
and unleash this beautiful butterfly that awaits us all. Unleash this beautiful butterfly. I tell couples when I officiate weddings, I say to them, I say, I want you to begin to see the butterfly now. And quit spending all your time criticizing and judging that caterpillar. I ask that you stand at the finish line for the butterfly and say, I knew that you would be here. I knew that you would come. I knew that you would win. I knew that you could make it. I knew it. And so that's what, Tracy, that's what you did. You saw the butterfly back then. And now we get a chance to see this beautiful butterfly named Tracy right now.
Thank you. It's very exciting. And it's just, I never thought it was possible. And thank you for being a part of this, of my journey. I mean, this is amazing. I'm so excited that you were open to being on this summit, because it's just like, it's a compliment to me, and it's a gift to me to have you in my presence, in the presence of all of these viewers, sharing this beautiful message that you have, and your energy and your light as well. And you know, I know you touch people on a daily basis. I know you're touching these families and these students every Sunday when you are doing your sermon or your teaching, and it's beautiful. And thank you. I'm honored to be able to have you as a part of this. And I know you've got a special gift that you're offering to our viewers, which is back to your fantastic theme of what now.
Yes.
So tell us about the gift that you're offering for the viewers, please.
Yes, I'm offering a free introductory class, and it's called What Now? And basically it's an answer to a lot of the questions that people have been asking in terms of, what can I do now? What do I do now? Where do I go? What's going to happen? This helps us answer the question. It's a course, an online course into self-discovery, into this present moment that's jam-packed. That's jam-packed. That's encoded with everything that we could ever need or want or desire. And so it's a class that we begin to take this journey, and we begin to tap into the unlimited possibilities that exist for us. And guess what? I don't even know what they are. That's why I'm so excited about the class, because here it is. What's available for me is different for you. And the way we find that out, the way we discover it, is we begin to slow down, take a breath, and begin to step into this present gift that has been given to us, this present gift. And so I'm going to invite you to this class. I will have the dates all ready for you by the time the summit on the May 18th. I will have those dates for you, but I want you to attend the class. And then if you're open, I'm going to ask you to bring your paintbrush. I'm going to ask you to bring your pen, your pencil, your clay, your dancing shoes. And then we're going to have a 3-week exploration into what now. And those of you who have the gift of spoken word and poetry, I'm going to ask all the poets to come together. I'm going to ask all of you creative, leading edge people. And when I say leading edge, you've come close to something marvelous, spectacular. You're not sitting at home being a spectator. You're not a Monday morning quarterback, but you're beginning to come closer and closer to the edge. And guess what? This class is going to help you jump. My goal is to help you jump. I'm not going to push you, but I'm going to motivate you. And you're going to say, Reverend Leon, this is it. I'm out of here. And we're going to all jump together. This is a cutting edge class for leading edge creative people. So I can't wait to begin to share these ideas that have been this is a channeled class. And so we will have inspiration from those who have gone before us. We will look at particular books of those people who have experienced living in the moment and open up their gifts. But I invite you for this class to open up this present gift that has been given to us all.
That sounds amazing. That I'm joining that.
Yeah.
So the link for that will be at the bottom of this email for anybody that wants to sign in for that. And then also Reverend Leon is offering his course or master class, The Power of Now, which is a 3-week real-time online course, and that's available for $250. And there will be a link for that as well on this page. So anyways, this has been spectacular, magical. I love it. Any closing words that you have for our viewers?
I'm just so honored. And this is my joy. So when Tracy asked me to be a part of this is my joy. My joy is to be an outlet. My mission is to be an outlet. My vision is to be an outlet. Like I said, more peace, more love, more joy, more joy. And my goal is to be a light, is to let my light so shine. Let me say it that way. To let my light so shine as a singer, as a speaker, as a teacher, as an emissary of greatness. That's my God. That's my goal. That's my God. And it is my goal.
And you are. So
thank you, Tracy. Yes.
Thank you so much. So I just want to share with everybody in the interim, in the meantime, be courageous. And until next time, signing off with love and light.
Yes.
Reverend Leon.
Thank you. Thank you.